All right, so let's talk about this topic. So I have said this on Instagram, I know that for sure, that I usually go ahead and I put 50% down towards a budget towards my personal savings and 50% towards my budget towards my, whatchamacallit, towards my business. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, 50% goes to my personal savings. The other 50% goes towards my business. Now, everybody's circumstance obviously is different. Mine is just my own, and this is what works for me. So, yeah, so 50% goes there, and then typically a person would go ahead and put their savings into their bank account. I have two accounts. I have my personal account and my business account, so they're separate. But I don't do that. And there's a really good reason behind that. And so what I do with my savings, I put them in this very secure vault and in cash. You know, and I mean, that's how you do it. I don't know. Yeah, so I put my savings in a vault, not in the bank. And here's the reason why. So a few years ago, there was a study by Harvard University and also Oxford University and a whole bunch of other colleges saying that people are more likely to spend their money if there's no physical form, tangible form of it, right? So, for instance, you're more likely to actually spend more money using a debit card or a credit card. I mean, that's why people, well, they tend to spend their money on things that they don't, necessarily need, but they want it because it's in demand, or if it's trending right now, or whatever it may be. They use their credit card, and that's called credit card debt. And everybody's in credit card debt. I'm not in credit card debt, which is great. I have no debt, so thankful for that. But yeah, so people go in credit card debt. I mean, a mortgage is an exception because you're paying a mortgage on a house. It's fine, but in college, it's normal. But I'm talking about other than that. People spend their money on things that they don't need on Amazon, or clothing, electronics, TVs, whatever it may be. It's just, people spend their money more. They say, these universities have said, and I do believe this to be true because I've experienced this and I've seen what, how I've reacted to my new method, which I'll get to in a sec. They say that the pain receptors in your brain aren't really as strong or bold when you have a credit card. We could just swipe it, or you can insert it, punch in your PIN numbers, and cash out. But when you have money, physical money that you can actually count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're more cautious, and you're more manageable. You're more going to be able to manage your money rather than just putting on a card when you can't visually and physically touch something. So I believe that because I used to be like that until I changed my ways personally. And that requires a lot of practice and skill. Well, not so much skill, but mostly just repetition, really, just practice. There's not really too much skill in it, but there's a little bit because you gotta, get rid of that urge for example, before I switched to being good with money, I would say, is, I did the 50-50, but I would run out of my budget towards my business, and considering the fact that I care about my business so much, I would dip into my savings money, and I would use a little bit of that towards my business. What harm could it be? But no, it does do some harm because that's my business, that's my savings. That's my savings I'm dipping into, and that's, there's no discipline there. You gotta have discipline. And I haven't done that for a very long time, so I've always kept them separate. And I think the reason why I say it kind of takes a little bit of skill is because, for example, for me, I don't put my savings in my bank. I keep it with me. Well, not with me, but in a safe, a very secure location. It's very secret, actually. Nobody knows in my house. I do that, and it takes a lot of discipline and skill. That's where the skill comes in, because you gotta not go and be tempted to, when your first budget runs out, don't go to your second one and use a little bit, even just a little bit, $10, five. I don't use a single penny of my second budget, which is my savings, towards my business or whatever budget I set for whatever it is. I mean, and what I do is I've actually become very organized about this, which is really, I've surprised myself, and it's kind of weird, but I use a percentage, so I put my money towards my business, but I also take a very small percentage out of my savings for food and groceries, and I use those two percentages for the food and groceries, on those things, and nothing more, nothing else, which is actually, I would say, is pretty hard for a lot of people to do. It was hard for me in the beginning, but I've learned to do that. So really, I have 4 sections. I have my budget towards my business. I have food, groceries and gas, and then I also have my personal savings, and they're individually set for that particular use, and that's it. I don't dip into, let me take $5 out of here and then I'll transfer it to here and I'll make my money back. I don't do that one bit, and I've saved so much money doing that. That's where the skill comes in, I would say. Another thing that I've realized for myself is that, and this will benefit you for sure, is that when you earn your money, and most people go ahead at the end of the week, they cash their check or whatever it may be, and then they spend it, or even just a portion of it, or they spend all of it, and that's really bad. But majority of people just spend a portion of it, I would say, and that's not good. What I've learned to do recently, 4 months ago, is because 4 months ago, I used to do that. I would get my money, I would spend a portion of it on my business and have a portion of it towards the savings, and I would more likely spend that that money on my business rather than my savings, because money makes money, and I know the industry that I'm in and I'm getting into, and I know the potential growth for it, so it's helped me out to be able to, instead of doing that, what I do is I spend my money on a monthly basis. Now, pretty much what I do is, when I divide my money, I wait until the end of the month. So, I mean, an exception of groceries like food and gas, at the end of the week, if I need it, then I'll spend it. But and only groceries that I need, because I'm not taking any SBA loans out, Small Business Association loans out. I'm not taking any loans out for my business at all. It's all about my money, personal money I'm investing in my business. So I gotta be very frugal to a certain extent, and I don't mind that. It's fine. But I also want to live life too. So, and that takes, you gotta be humble, because I would say I'm very humble. That helps out a lot, because whatever. Anyways, so I mean, it just takes skill. For 4 weeks, I do not. I save my money for 4 weeks, and then I divide my money up into the 4 sections. And at the end of the month, and then I say, because if you wait a month, right? If you wait a month to divide and budget whatever you're budgeting towards, you have more control, and you're more like, okay, all right, let me put this amount here. All right, let me put 20% here, and another 40% there, and let's do another 10 here. Compared to getting the money and spending it immediately, even if it's just a portion of your money that you're spending at the end of the week, you have less control. So that's something I've learned about 4 months ago. So this was very recent, and it's benefited me out a lot. Saving. You have to have discipline when you divide that money up, and you also have to have the discipline to save that money each week, at the end of each week, and not spend even a little bit or a whole bunch. I go by monthly, not by weekly, and it's helped me out a lot. And it's like, wow, it's crazy. And it allows, and you obviously need to discipline for everything here that I'm saying here, right? That's a skill. It can be tough, it can be difficult, but it's not impossible. I mean, I did it, and I, and even, it's not hard. Yeah, it's not impossible. that's pretty much it. I mean that's honestly that's all I do with my money, in terms of money management. Now, if I have car repairs, for instance, I have to take it out of my personal, right? I would take it out of my personal, and pay for my car, because that, you need a vehicle to make money, whatever it is you're doing. Even if you're working at McDonald's or whatever, Starbucks or whatever it is, you need transportation to get to your job. And but that's an exception, and there are a few exceptions you can implement. But as long as you have that discipline, which is the main focus here, you'll be able to go ahead and achieve your goals financially, I guess, in a sense. I mean, I just self-discovered this, and nobody told me how to do this. I'm finding everything out by myself, and it's pretty wild, actually. It's really good strategy, I would say. Now, how you divide up your income? Say if you got a lease on a car payment or whatever it is, or you got a monthly subscription to Netflix. That's based on you, right? It's not, there's no set standard of, how much you should put towards which and where. It's all based on your income, obviously, your income level, and your, I don't know, what you want in life, I guess, in a sense. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. I mean, it's simple once you get into the groove, but when you're not in the groove, it can be very difficult, because it's the discipline. But I've built myself to have really good discipline, and it's benefited me with a lot of things, and financially. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys can implement this into your life. Try it out. At least try it out if you can. And, if a week goes by and you spend even 20%, 15%, let's say if you spend even $50, say if you earn $500 a week and you spend $50, that's not what I do. I save everything, unless, except for, if it's groceries or gas, other than that, or car repairs. But if you do that, remember that every week is a refreshed week. The first week, say first week of November, you try it out. You want to try it out. You try it out, and it doesn't go good. You spend $40, and not everybody is going to be able to follow what I do. But this is what I do. But remember, if you screw up one week, the next week is another fresh start. But if you realize that you screwed up and at the end of the week, and you spent $50 to go out to eat, catch it in the moment, and don't just say, oh, let me just blow all my money and restart the next week. Notice it, identify it, and just immediately take action. But yes, guys, I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you can implement this into your life. It is difficult at the start of things, unless you're really disciplined with, in general, with anything. But yeah, that's about it. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.